Good to see everyone again. So yesterday I was up here, Kyle York, VP of Product Strategy for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I'm also the GM of Oracle Dyn. And we were up here yesterday announcing the launch of our Internet Intelligence Map. Check it out at internetintel.oracle.com. It's a free resource, simple graphical representation of the state of the global internet, carriers, nation-level internet connectivity. Check it out. Hopefully it provides a little bit of value to you as you manage your high-scale, internet-scale web assets. So we're excited today to be up here with Richard Lee, founder and CEO of Netra. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a little bit. But one thing that's really exciting about what Netra's doing in leveraging sort of a multi-cloud opportunity is they're doing something that wasn't possible 10 years ago with 10-year-old compute power and automation and management power or capability for infrastructure. So I think when you start to hear about what he's doing, it really is a sign of, I think, things to come, the types of innovations that will be happening on our global internet, and how we can continue to use new tooling and new providers and new spaces to be successful in executing our day-to-day jobs. So, Richard, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks, Kyle. Hi, everyone. As Kyle said, my name is Richard Lee. I'm the CEO of a company called Netra. Our mission is to help enterprise make sense of the tsunami of imagery. So we're a Boston-based startup. We're seed funded. We have about 10 people, so not your typical Oracle customer. And actually, we compete with the likes of Google Cloud Vision, Amazon Rekognition, Microsoft Azure. So despite our size, we often go up against some of the biggest players out there, and a lot of that is enabled by the current cloud infrastructure out there. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about our company and our technology, and then how we're trying to scale with digital. We provide image recognition as a service to our customers, and we deliver that via an API. That API really gives access to our deep learning models that are trained up on over 7,500 classifiers today. So this is a little bit more complex than hot dog or not hot dog, if you will. So if you think about it, what we're really trying to do is pattern match around a cluster of pixels, if you will, in a photo. And we're trying to determine and detect objects of interest. And so, for example, our humans model may detect the face there and then send it to our humans daemon and then classify age, gender, and ethnicity. And so in this case, we found a female face, most likely 20s, and a Caucasian. Likewise, our brands model looks for the presence of a logo or not a logo. In this case, we detect the presence of the Adidas logo, which, even though it's tiny and really kind of obscure and hard to see on her headband, we detect it, localize it, and are able to determine with 100% confidence that Adidas is present. And then lastly, our context and object model detects and classifies what else is in the image. So we detect a tennis player, an athlete, sports, a person, or tennis, the sport itself. So What's really amazing is that we do all of this in about 200 milliseconds. So that includes download of the image, decoding of the image, or extracting of the frames, and then hitting each of the daemons. And so it's mind-boggling how much computational power is involved in doing this type of thing. And so while it's challenging on a one-image basis, really trying to scale it for digital is what we're going after next. And that's probably what this group is most interested in learning. So really, if you think about the 3 trillion or so images that consumers are taking and sharing on their mobile phones almost every single day, or the 300 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute of every day, this is all unstructured imagery right now. So Netra adds structure to this, and really when we're trying to design our system on the dev side, it's how are we going to scale our business to be able to process millions and billions and even trillions of images a day. And so the heart of our system today is built off of Apache Kafka. And so we use Apache to essentially be our messaging broker. And what we found is it's extremely scalable, as well as highly reliant. We were able to process hundreds of millions of images a day, and then use it to kind of transfer it to each of our different daemons. So we've also Dockerized our algorithms such that we can deploy on any sort of platform, whether it's vertically on any of the cloud platforms, or horizontally across, or even on our own dev box. So we have a pretty complex hybrid infrastructure right now that has really come about through quite a bit of trial and error. And so we've over the past couple of years, we've deployed on basically every cloud platform out there, starting on AWS 2 years ago. I mean, we used to train our models actually on our own GPU laptops. AWS had very limited GPUs even 2 or 3 years ago. So at that point, we had invested in our own dev boxes. Since that time, obviously, a lot more players have come into the field, including Oracle. And so we're now kind of looking into being more flexible and hybrid or agile across these cloud platforms. What we're doing today is really no longer investing in our own boxes, but more kind of focusing on really scalable volume across bare metal GPUs. So we actually are deployed on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. We're using their P100s right now, and in our tests against some of the biggest players, one of the players I mentioned, the results were astounding, and we're focused on price performance right now. So we were able to get 62% lower cost at 30% higher throughput on our volume. And again, with our customers today, we've over the past couple of months have scaled beyond the typical smaller to medium-sized customers to large enterprise right now. And so with that comes much higher volume, much higher SLAs, much higher quality and reliability. And so we're focused on using kind of bare metal today for consistent volume, so tens of millions of images a day, and then using VMs to really adjust for scalability dynamically. So if we get hit with a couple million images, as we did last week, that was a bit of a surprise, we're able to spin up a new instance almost within minutes to be able to work the queue down. And once the queue gets below a certain threshold, we're able to spin that down to manage our costs. But our experience so far on Oracle OCI has been pretty amazing from a price performance perspective. So that's kind of it from my presentation.
Right. So, yeah. So I mean, I think for many of you, just a kind of quick introduction. I mean, when we set out to build Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, right out of the gate, it was very specific to purpose-built cloud, bare metal cloud, to be able to tell customers or enable customers to shut down data centers and move their database or move their licensed software and ERP or HCM over to Oracle Cloud. I think one of the side benefits of being definitely a second or late mover advantage is be able to take the best talent possible. We're actually building our organization predominantly in Seattle, making tremendous acquisitions, I should say so, for Dyn and ZenEdge and others, and being able to kind of find these unique use cases here, obviously in high-performance computing, that are attracting sort of subsegments of what I would call more cloud-native, born-in-the-cloud type companies who I don't think many of you in the room are thinking about or excited about opening up your next data center necessarily, or trying to figure out how to leverage cloud to scale your businesses and hopefully become the next Fortune 100 company in the next decade or two.
Yeah.
So talk about a little. You're also part of the Oracle Cloud Startup Accelerator program. Yep. At first, when I came into Oracle, I was a little bit reluctant to believe that Oracle was actually having a startup program and what it meant. Talk about the value drivers that you've seen out of that. Just a little bit here.
And let me preface this by it's still relatively new. We were accepted into the Scale Up Accelerator, and I will also say we were part of one of the more kind of more traditional accelerators that went out. I think what was attractive to us to participate with Oracle were a couple-fold. One, credits are obviously valuable to any startup. It's like free venture capital. Two,
we need to give more, though, I've heard.
Yeah, we could always give more. But secondly, access to Oracle's customers, right? You guys have 420,000 customers. We're starting to go a little bit more upmarket enterprise with our customer base. So getting access to your customer base was extremely attractive. And three, it was non-dilutive. So I would recommend any startup that is kind of building its own cloud-native application to kind of look at it. It's been a great program for us. We get some exposure opportunities to co-market. We get really kind of the first look at the latest. We're excited about some of the future things that we've heard are coming down the roadmap for Oracle on both VMs and V100s, et cetera. And that's where we're kind of building. We're transitioning a lot of our infrastructure to TensorFlow to take advantage of a lot of these processors that are optimized around TPUs.
So talk a little bit about, you're obviously a very kind DNS customer of ours, and we've obviously specialized in that as Dyn and now Oracle for years.
Yep.
Talk about DNS and performance around DNS and sort of how that is managing this multi-cloud environment for you.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely we've used Dyn and HostGator really to host our website and And really, that's kind of been like the primary focus for us on the DNS side. But we are working in a lot of different areas with Oracle in both on the cloud side, the data cloud side, and the social side as well.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Again, we're here. We have a booth as Oracle Dyn. Richard's going to be hanging out a little bit today. But again, thank you for having us, and have a great rest of the show, and travel safe.
Thanks so much, guys.